Alright folks, I just want to spend a few minutes here talking about the types of food that I pack in my bug out bag. I'm not saying this is what you should pack in yours, but I think this is a pretty good idea, pretty good system, and pretty good stuff. That being said, I do want to talk a little bit about bugging out, and when I say bugging out, what I mean is packing up and leaving where you are because conditions have deteriorated to the point where you're no longer safe, that it's staying there is no longer a viable option, and you're better served going somewhere else. So it's got to be a pretty drastic series of events. It's got to be a pretty significant event that says, hey, I have to leave my home, most likely, and hightail it somewhere else. And also, I've talked about in past videos, when you bug out, I'm looking at a 72-hour trek to get from point A to point B as quickly and as fast as possible. And when I do this trek, it's got to be by car, horse, foot, airplane, whatever. But I got a 72-hour window. If I know that it's going to take me more than 72 hours, then I have to adjust my provisions. And today we're going to be talking about food in terms of provisions. And you see a lot of videos and you hear a lot of people talking about stuff, and they say, I want to get the most calorie-dense food. Well, I mean, if that was true, you'd just carry around 5 pounds of powdered sugar and you'd be all right. I think that you need to get good quality food, and you actually need a lot of food. One of the things that people say is, oh, you get by on 1,800, 2,000, 2,200 calories per day. I read somewhere that during the Lewis and Clark expedition, the folks that were on that expedition, they were eating 7 pounds of meat a day. Now, granted, that's hardship, and that's the old times and all that kind of stuff. But if you're trying to get, maybe 50 miles, let's just say 50 miles in 3 days, that's pretty tough. That's pretty arduous, pretty strenuous. And as a result, you're going to need to have some good food, and you're going to need good quality food. And so for me, I'm thinking that I want to have about 3,000 calories per day per person. That's a lot. The other thing that I wanted to talk a little bit about is that you see a lot of videos where people will be like, I got me a jar of peanut butter, can of tuna fish, and ramen noodles, and Lipton dry soup. And that's all good. And peanut butter's not a bad thing. It does have some protein in there, but you want more rounded, complete proteins. A lot of peanut butter has a lot of sugar in it, so kids eat it on sandwiches. I'm not saying peanut butter's bad, but I'm saying there might be some better options out there. And then the other thing is that you want to look for options that aren't just dried or dehydrated, because they're going to require you to get water and drink water. And most of the time that you're going to get sick or have a problem is because you're getting water and you're drinking water that's not purified. And I know people be like, well, I got me a Life Straw and I got me iodine drops. That's great, but that doesn't get everything out. And maybe I'll do a video about that too. So what I want to do is I also want to make sure that I have food that is wet, that doesn't need to be rehydrated, because if I eat it dry, then it's going to pull water out of me. And I don't want to sit around and get water, and then boil food. I want to be able to eat on the go because I'm trying to cover a lot of ground in a short period of time. Alright, all that being said, let's go talk a little bit about some of the food that we have in here. And I'll actually start out with these strong bars, and they're made by a company called Kind, and you can see that over here. These are things that I eat every day anyway. They're granola light bars. They're I'm not going to call them health bars or protein bars or anything like that. But they have them in man flavors. They're not always need to be, macadamia, and which this is. But they don't need to be chocolate and all that kind of stuff. Like here's roasted jalapeno and hickory smoked. And I love them. I don't think most people, especially chicks and kids, are going to like those flavors. But these come in a wide variety of different types of bars, and you can find a flavor that you like. But they're pretty good. I mean, this one's got 10 grams of protein in it. I don't know if you can see that or not. And these are about 230 to 250 calories per bar. And they weigh less than 2 ounces. They're about 1.5 ounces. And what you do is you have a more complete protein. You have some carbs in there. You have seeds, nuts, all kinds of things that give you a more rounded meal than if you just ate peanut butter or something like that. Like this one's got almonds in there. It's got some fiber in there. So it's a little bit better for you. It's a little bit more complete, and you'll probably be a little bit happier eating something like this. Here's a roasted jalapeno. And this one's an almond protein bar too. You can get these that have cashews in them. You can get them that have peanuts in them. But you want a mix of things so you get a more rounded meal. And like I was mentioning, they're about 230, 250 calories for an ounce and a half. What I like to target for food is about 100 calories per ounce. A lot of people tell you it's all about the calories in, but it's quality of calories too, and 100's a pretty good target. So just going down this bars. Here's some Nature Valley, and these are granola bars. They're made out of cashews, and they have some other stuff in here, some sugars and stuff like that. It's important to get non-complex carbohydrates because you're going to need energy boosts. Complex carbohydrates are good too, but so things like this are pretty good as well, and you can get these pretty cheap, and you get them in bulk at places like BJ's or Costco or stuff like that. These Cliff Bars are really good, and they come in a variety of flavors. This one does happen to be white chocolate macadamia, but they have these hundreds, well, I'm not going to say hundreds, they've got dozens of flavors that are really good. High fiber, lots of carbs, lots of good carbs in there, and then also protein. So things like these you can get them for about 99 cents a piece at Walmart. They're a little bit cheaper if you buy them in bulk, like a 10-pack or a 20-pack box. These are great for EDC kits, survival kits, and bug out kits. I really like Cliff Bars, and I eat them quite a bit. Here's something. Let's go ahead and move these over. Survival tabs, and these, the perfect nutrition just in case. And this claims to be, how many days was this one? I can't remember. These come in packs where this is 2 days worth of food, where you can get a jar of these, or you can get little packs of these. It's supposed to be different amounts. If you take a look at this, it says serving size is 12 tabs. There's 2 servings per container. And let's see. So it says each serving is 240 calories. So with this, they're expecting you to make it on 480 calories over 2 days. That's just never going to happen. So these are a good thing. They're not expensive, but maybe they're a good thing to put in your bag that you can have, that you can chew on or snack on. They're gluten-free, so how about that? But I just have these as a supplement. Cheap, lightweight, doesn't require any cooking. You can eat them on the go. So I have them in the bag. Another thing I have is candy, like Skittles and Tic Tac. And the reason I have these, if you need a quick energy boost, some sugar will get you up, keep you alert, and keep you going. This is a little bit counter to what I say about good quality calories, but sometimes you'll need something like this for an energy boost, for some motivation or some alertness. So I go ahead and do something like that. The next thing I was going to talk about is the importance of not eating everything that's dry or dehydrated, and I mentioned that a little bit earlier. So you can get things like this. This is 20 ounces, so it's heavy. It's 1 pound and 4 ounces. But a lot of people say that, hey, I'm not going to carry cans because cans are bulky, or cans, are heavy. They're tough to carry around. But when you carry wet food like this, one of the things about it is that you don't have to hydrate it. You don't have to procure water, and you can eat this, and it'll help hydrate you. When you have some of these things like, au gratin potatoes or creamy noodles, they're very high in sodium. They require a lot of water, and they require prep time. Worst case scenario, you could just open this bag and you could eat it right out of the bag. It doesn't need to be heated up. And, it's got meat in there. It's good protein. It's got pork and beef and chili beans. So it's a little bit more of a rounded meal. And it's a little bit more of a normal type meal than it is living off of pasta primavera or something like that, freeze-dried pasta primavera. So maybe it'll help you feel a little bit better about what's going on. So anyhow, that's just one of them. The other thing is that you can get various soups. Like this is this is spicy chorizo and chicken with black beans, and these are kind of things that I would normally eat anyway. So that's why I have them and I rotate them in and out. Keeping going, I think that things like meat are important. You'll see people, I got Slim Jims in there, and I don't really have a problem with Slim Jims. I love them, and it's a quick, calorie-dense food that you can go ahead and eat. But getting a good quality jerky or something like this is probably not a bad idea either. It keeps well, keeps a long time, and who doesn't like to eat stuff like that? Now, along the same lines as the survival tabs, you do get stuff like this. This is an apple cinnamon biscuit. It's got a 5-year shelf life. It's 400 calories. Now when you eat something like this, you're going to be thirsty. You're going to want some water. But again, maybe this is just a quick food meal or snack that you want to get. You can break it up between a couple of different people. Go ahead and eat it. It's lightweight. Doesn't take up a lot of room. These are good things to have in your bag. And then I really just put the ramen in there because everybody's got ramen in there. The good thing about ramen noodles compared to other noodles is that they're already cooked. So you can eat them dry if you had to, but you can put them in cold water and they'll hydrate, or you can boil them or cook them up pretty quick. And it's a good, quick, nice, easy thing that's very light. And these are inexpensive to keep in your bag. And we're getting down to the end here, folks. Now, I know a lot of people will carry around things like chicken or tuna or salmon in these bags. But you can go ahead and call me white trash, but I like Spam. Love it. And this way I don't have to carry around a can of Spam. And these have a pretty good shelf life. And you can cook this. You can eat it raw. And then you can get, protein, fats, and calories out of something like this. And it keeps you going. Let's see what this says. It's in here. It's one serving in this package. 160 calories. And let's see what this thing weighs. 3 ounces. So this is a little bit lower than our ratio that we like. That's really, one serving per container. This is high in fats though, but you need that when you're trekking and traipsing away and you're going through a bug out situation. So keep some of these in there. And then the last thing is that you can pick up these Uncle Ben's rice. 8 ounces of rice, 8.8 ounces of rice. I think they're about $2.50, something like that, and they have a variety of different flavors. This just happens to be Spanish style. It has tomatoes and peppers and some other things in there, but this is already cooked. You just heat it up in a microwave. Now, I get that you're not going to have a microwave as you go, but if you are cooking food or making food or heating up that chili or mixing this in with that chili, it's a good way to get some extra calories, some proteins and stuff like that, and it's a good way to stretch your food across multiple people. So anyhow, that's really it. I just wanted to do a quick video. Thanks, everybody.